removing color. Okay, and then close this. Div. Okay, so here, which is I did miss. Yep, and the same way I'm just going to have it let me take this. Okay, then after this I'll just have the same way for adding the color. So here if it's less than 3, okay, and here now we'll just call this add a custom color with the just random chroma dot random dot x function. Okay, fine, and here the for the styling I'm just going to remove some this group hover and also this here the positioning of this. I'm just going to remove this, and also by default let's have this display set to flex, and here I'm just going to remove this hidden, and height set it to full, width let's change it to 8. Okay, and rounded let's have this LG. Okay, fine, and I'm just going to remove this border board completely, and transition all, and I'm just going to have this I don't want these things. Okay, and here I'll just be having this focus effect, not the hover effect. So here focus, I'm just going to make this text to be a white color, and also have this some outline, and outline I'm just going to have this offset set to 2, and then the again the color white. So fine, and now the icon here it's going to be the plus, and here it's going to be add color. Okay, so this was the component for us to help us pick the custom color. So now all the components required for this setting section is ready. So now we'll create the index file where I'm just going to wrap all these components that we had created. So basically let me create this index.tsx. In this file, first let's have simple control function where I'm just going to wrap the other components that we have for basic snippet controls as well as the custom snippet controls. Okay, so here the control, okay, and this is going to have this HTML4 as an input param, and then the label, which is again it's of type string. Children, this is going to be of type React node. So I'm just going to get those values here. HTML4 label children. Okay, fine, and here I'm just going to make this display as a relative with the position as relative, and display flex, and minimum width let's apply this, and the direction column. Okay, justify, I'm just going to have this between and gap let's apply 3. Okay, fine, and here the label, so let's pass in whatever we have received in the HTML4, and the styling for this. Okay, so make this text as extra small, and font type I'm just going to make this bold. Here I'm just going to showcase this label, and after this just showcase these children, which is going to be React components. So first thing, let's have function which is going to give us the basic snippet control. So I'm just going to name this as basic snippet controls. Okay, so here let's have this div. Okay, I'm just going to make this as a flex and justify, let's say evenly, have this gap of 8. Okay, and here let's use this control HTML4. First thing, I'm just going to pass it the language and the label language. Okay, fine, and then the use this select component. So basically this, and the type here, first thing it's going to be language. Options, I'm just going to pass in this supported languages. Same way we will have for the other things. So after this HTML4, let's say this is for theme. Okay, so label, it's going to be font family. Okay, and here the type, it's going to be theme. Options, it's going to be supported themes. Okay, fine, and then next is going to be a font family. So this is going to be font family, and label, I'm just going to this label, it's going to be theme. I just yeah, and this is going to be the font family. Okay, and here the select time, it's going to be this font family, and options, it's going to be supported font styles. So this is the control for font family, and then same we will have for size, line numbers, and padding. Okay, so font size, label, it's going to be the font size, and here now we'll use this choices component. Okay, and the type, it's going to be the font size choices, it's going to be supported font sizes. Okay, okay, I don't have font sizes. Okay, let's check this. Okay, basically the sizes array 2. So inside this values, okay, I do have its base underscore font. Okay, fine. So let's go back to this, and I'm just going to here it's going to be base font sizes. Okay, fine. Okay, there is some issue. Choices component. Okay, there is some type mismatch. Let me check this. So let's check this choices. This is string, and even this is string. this is also string. I don't think there is an issue, just this the loading thing. Okay, okay, let's complete the other control. So this now it's going to be the line numbers, label line numbers. Okay, and here let's use this switch component, and then I'm just going to pass here the type here as the line numbers. Okay, fine. So then finally the control for the padding control, and here HTML for it's going to be padding, and then the label padding. Okay, and then we'll use this choices component. So type it's going to be padding. Okay, and choices. Okay, choices it's going to be base padding values. Okay, there is some issue with this. Choices string array. Okay, okay, yeah, so this is the basic snippet control. So same way we'll have one more function which is going to give us the custom theme control. So I'm just going to create here the function custom theme colors. So here let's name this as custom theme controls. Okay, here let's wrap everything inside this motion dot div. So let me import that from framework motion. Motion dot div first for the initially I'm just going to set the opacity to 0, and then the animate here let's have this opacity set back to 1, transition for duration of 0.1, and then delay lets me set this to 0.2. okay, and then the styling for this, let's make this display as a flex and have margin top 4, and then the justify I'm just going to have here pass in this evenly having a gap of 8, and then the rounded extra large, padding at the bottom 4, and then padding top let's set some 5, then apply this border. Okay, and the border I want it to be dashed, and the border color white. Okay, and the background color let's say it as white, and I'm just going to divide it by yep. Okay, fine. So inside this first thing for the control for the picker, which is nothing but the color, so label it's going to say it as colors. So I'm just going to use this picker component, okay, as a first control. After this for the color mode, so here this it's going to be the color mode, and the label it's going to be the color. Okay, and let's use this choices with the type passing in the color mode. Okay, and the choices, it's going to be the base color modes. Okay, fine. And then the control for the angle, so which is for the gradient angle, so it's going to be gradient angle. The label, it's going to be gradient angle, and I'm just going to use this angle component. Okay, and finally the control for changing the grain. Okay, toggling it. Okay, so here the HTML4, it's going to be the grain label, which is the grain. Okay, and finally I'm just going to use this switch component by mentioning the type as grain. So this is the function which is going to give us the controls for custom theme things. Okay, and next thing is we need to have the draggable handle. So basically this whole setting section has to be draggable, right? So for that we'll have one function, so I'm just going to name this as draggable handle. So this would receive the parameters of drag control. So this is going to be a written type of use drag controls from prisma motion. Okay, and then the animation controls. So this is again going to be the type of use animation controls as mode a boolean parameter. Then it's to know whether is it dragging. So this is going to be the motion value of type boolean. Okay, so here I'm just going to get them drag controls, animation controls as mode, and he's dragging. Okay, fine. First thing here, let's maintain one state variable to know whether it's dragging or not. So here local is dragging set is local dragging, and here by default I'm just going to set it to false, and then I'm just going to use this use motion value event from frame or motion. So here, and pass this is dragging value, and on change. Okay, so let's set the local is local dragging to whatever we get the latest value. Okay, so okay, and also for icon, based upon it has moved or it's a dragging, will have the one icon if not the other icon. So for that, let's use this one function. So I'm just going to name this as icon, which is going to give us the component, and let's wrap this is inside this use memo. Okay, first thing, if it has not moved or it's dragging, so I'm just going to use this in a grip horizontal icon. Okay, so let's say size 16, and I'm just going to set this area hidden to true. Okay, fine. And if not, I'm just going to return this refresh ccw icon with the size set to 14 and area hidden. I'm just going to set this to true. Okay, fine. And then it's going to depend upon the as moved, and then local is tracking variable. So this is how we are going to get the icon component. And now let's focus on rendering part. So motion dot div, so here on pointer down, so I'm just going to call the start function and drag controls. Okay, and set the snap to cursor to false. Okay, fine. And then on tab, let's, if it has moved, then I'm just going to set the start of the animation controls, the x and y location to 0 coordinate. Okay, fine. And while tab, let's set the cursor to be grabbing, and then tab index, let me set this to -1. And then styling for this, first thing, let's make this as absolute. And positioning, let's have this negative top position of let's say 15 pixel. And left, I'm just going to have half, and z index, let's say 50, display flex, and height and 7, I'm just going to set it to 7 and 9 respectively. And items, let's me center them, and justify also center, and rounded, let's have medium. Okay, fine. And touch, I don't want none, and also select to be none, and outline none. Have this border, I'm just going to have this white color. And background, let me set this to black. And transition all. Okay, and duration, I'm just going to set it to 100, and have this easy in out effect. And hovering, I just want the scale effect, so let's say some 110. And also cursor, let's change it to something like grab. Okay, fine. And also the border, I just want the color to be almost white. Okay, and active, let's apply the scale effect, so basically 110. And then also same border, I'm just going to apply white color. Okay, so inside this, I'm just going to have a div with that icon. So inside this animate presence mode, I'm just going to pass this as weight. Okay, and then the div key, it's going to be set based on the as mode, and the local, it's not dragging. So if it is, I'm just going to set it to refresh. If not, I'm just going to set it to grip. And initially, let's have this opacity set to 0, and the scale, I'm just going to apply 0.8. Animate, let's say this opacity 1. Then scale, I'm just going to have this effect 1. And then the exit, sorry, yeah, exit, I'm just going to set back the opacity to 0, and the scale to 0.8. transition in between, so for the duration of 0.08 milliseconds. And then so delay also, I'm just going to, yep. And here I'm just going to wrap the icon inside it. Okay, so this is the draggable handle. So finally, the component that we want is the setting, so we'll create that. So just right after here I'm just going to create the function called the settings. Okay, so here obviously I'll have one state variable to know if it has mode or not. So I just have this set as mode callback function to update those value. Okay, and I'll just have one constraints ref using our useref hook. Okay, so I'm just going to set this by default to none, and let's get the drag controls, animation controls, and this dragging value. So drag controls, I'm just going to use this, use drag controls. Okay, and then the animation controls, use animation controls. Then to know whether it's dragging or not, the boolean variable, I'm just going to use this, use motion value, and by default set this to false. Okay, and to know whether it has the custom theme or not, let's use the store to get that value, so which is going to be as custom theme. Okay, so fine, and let's focus on the rendering part. So here the inside this fragment, let's add the div. So first the key, I'm just going to pass this as settings expanded, and have this custom theme appended. Okay, and I'm going to attach this constraints ref hook for this, and styling. So first let's make this the position, I'm just going to make this as fixed, and the bottom let's have some 6. Okay, and left positioning apply some 6, and also at the right part. Okay, and the top I'm just going to have some 88 pixel, and have some z index. Okay, so fine, and pointer events none. Okay, fine. So this is the div. So after this div, just the div for the settings, and we'll wrap all this draggable handle and other controls. So here div id, I'm just going to set this to settings. Okay, and pass this drag listener to false, and then the drag momentum to false, drag controls, I'm just going to pass in this drag controls, drag constraints, I'm just going to pass this constraints ref on drag start, on drag start, let's is dragging dot set, I'm just going to set it to true. Okay, then on drag end, let's get the info. Okay, so I'm just going to set first these dragging set to false. Okay, and if it has not moved, okay, and the info dot point dot x is not equals to 0, or info dot point dot y is not equals to 0, I'm just going to set as mode to true. Okay, and after this the animate, it's I'm just going to pass this animation controls on update. Let's first get the x and y coordinates. Okay, and here if as mode is true, and then the x is equals to 0 and y is equals to 0. I'm just going to set as mode back to false. Okay, and yep, then the styling for this div, let's make this again as a fixed, and the bottom let's have some 12 thing, and z index I'm just going to apply let's say 40. Okay, and the width, let's set this to something like 960 pixel, and rounded extra large. Okay, and the font type I'm just going to have this medium, and border, have this border white. Okay, and the background I'm just going to have this black color. Okay, and the shadow, let's say extra large, shadow black, I'm just going to make this black color, and backdrop I just want to make it as a blur. So that's the styling for this, and inside this now I'm just going to use this components. First is the draggable handle, and pass this respective parameter value for this component, the animation controls, and then as mode it's going to be as move. Okay, is dragging, I'm just going to, yep, is dragging. Okay, and then we will just have this showcase, which is the basic snippet controls, and if there is a custom theme, we'll showcase that custom theme controls, and finally the actions component. Okay, so here let's wrap everything inside this div, and here make this as relative, and flex column direction, and overflow, let me hide this, and I just want this rounded, and padding x direction 4, padding bottom. Okay, and the top, let's say, yeah, 5, and I'm just going to have this border at the bottom, border color let's change to white. Okay, and background black color, shadow extra large, and shadow color let's make it as a black. Okay, yep, and transition all, and duration for 100 milliseconds, and have this ease in out effect. Okay, and here now, based on if there is a custom theme, I just want the height to be set it to more height, so let's say some 211 pixel. Okay, if not, I will just set this height to 97 pixel. Okay, fine, and then inside this, first is the basic snippet controls, then if there is custom theme, then I'm just going to showcase this and a custom theme controls. Okay, then after this, finally the actions component. So this is the settings component. So this is how we have created the components needed for this, and wrapped everything inside this. So almost the sections that we want, which is nothing but the dashboard, editor, header settings, and the UI components are ready. So now what we will do, I'm just going to go to the actual pages section, and then first we'll have to wrap inside this providers, which is nothing but going to give the context provider. So I'll just wrap everything inside this session provider, so where it's going to give us the whether the user is authenticated or not. So for that we have this context already. So here I'm just going to have a I'm just going to create here a new file. Okay, let's name this as something like providers.tsx. First thing, I'm just going to mention this as a use client at the top, and let's have this function called providers. Okay, and here it's just going to have the children parameter, which is going to be of type react node. Okay, so here I'm just going to wrap here everything inside this session provider. Okay, and here let me have this tooltip. Let me import this. Okay, so tooltip primitive, so let me name this as tooltip primitive from radix UI react tooltip. Okay, so tooltip primitive, again I'm just going to have this provider, and delay duration I'm just going to nothing. Okay, fine, and here I'm just going to wrap the children inside this. So now the provider is ready. So here going to the first the layout thing. So here in the layout thing I will use this provider now and wrap the children inside that. So first thing is here this I will have this styling for this HTML. Okay, so here I'm just going to import fonts here, so let me import them. Okay, fonts from fonts. Okay, so I will it is not default export. Okay, yep, fine. And here first thing for this I'm just going to provide here the fonts for this. So it's going to be fonts dot enter dot variable. Okay, same thing, Fera thing. So let me pass this font types. Okay, fonts dot, we were having just the few things, so I'm just going to pass that. So which is the jet brains mono dot variable. Okay, and then the incon solata, so dot variable. Okay, fine. Now here for the body, let's here I'm just going to make this as a grid. Okay, and the minimum, let's say this occupies side of the screen. Okay, and this grid is going to have rows. Let's say I'm just going to make this auto and apply. Yep, and make this text to be extra small, and background, let's make this as almost black. Text should be grayish, and let's apply this the selection. Background should be this color, so I'm just going to apply this 500, and also this I'm going to apply this carrot color 500. Okay, and the selection text color, let's have this almost white. Okay, fine. So now here inside this I'm just going to have this providers component. First thing I'm going to use the header component. Okay, so here I'm just going to use this header Then after this, the main thing. So inside this main, and the styling for this. Okay, so simple. Let's make this as a grid and place items center, and here I'm just going to wrap the children inside this. Okay, and I'm just going to completely remove this. Okay, what's the issue here? Fonts. Okay, here let me go here. Okay, so here I'm just going to go back to this layout. Yep. Okay, so what is the value? Yeah, let me just check this. Okay, there is some let me do one thing. So here I'm just going to okay, I am just going to export here one more thing called fonts. Okay, fine, let's just provide here, which is going to be, first one was the enter, right? So here I'm just going to split the screen, and let's go to fonts here. Okay, so first one is Fira. Okay, okay, and here, okay, this is going to be 0. Okay, this is first value, and this is going to be okay, and for now I'm just going to comment this. Okay, and close this completely. Okay, so this is the layout now, and let's check. At least we should see the header component. So I think it's already running here. Okay, okay, the components header, I think I'll have to use the client there. So basically here in this client, if you see here the art part. Okay, so I just have to mention here the use client. Okay, so he went for the other parts. Okay, so quickly I'm just going to, which is the help and index. Okay, so home, lets me add this use client at the top. Even here I'm just going to use this, and then in the index, okay, okay, fine. Okay, there is some issue in the components code part. Let me have a look. So there is some issue in this components code and those things. So here in this page.asx, I'm just going to comment it for now, and yeah, so let me just commented it, and now let's go to the output and check. Okay, so yeah, you see this is the header and it's looking good. So the header component that we have used, it's fine. Okay, and this is the shortcuts thing. Okay, so now let's focus on the page component here. inside this I will first, what I'm going to do here is let me here first thing, let me make this as asynchronous function. Okay, and here first let me get this session using the get session. Okay, fine. And so get session is from our helper. Okay, so I'm just going to remove this from our library slash auth. Okay, fine. So again, just to know whether is authenticated or not, so I'll just have one variable. So this is going to depend upon the value we get from the above session. Okay, if there is session, I'm just going to redirect to the dashboard page. Okay, okay, else I'm going to render this editor component we have created, so which is the editor. Okay, and for this editable I'm just going to pass in this true. Okay, and is authenticated, we'll just pass this value is authenticated. Okay, so now we have this page. Okay, so now let's go and have a look what it's going to look like. Okay, there is some issue with respect to again this use client. So first in the change listener, maybe I'll have to just add this, and even the index thing. So if I had just here the use index, it should work. So sorry, use client. Okay, yeah, let me check this again. There is some issue in the colors.ts. Let's have a look. So there is some issue in this code.ts editor components. Okay, so first thing, we misspelled here the language. Okay, and that was the issue here. And also here in the generate colors, we need to change this to array of colors. Okay, so for that, what we'll do, let's change this. I'm just going to have this color, so which is going to be a string array. Okay, and here let me define this first, the average red, average green, and then the blue. Okay, fine. And then I'm just going to remove this. Okay, and here if I'm just going to check if there is some colors which is nothing but colors dot length is greater than 0, that is we received at least one color. So I'm just going to have this total red. Okay, so set it to 0, and then the green. Okay, blue. Okay, fine. And let's iterate through this colors list and get the each color, then get the RGB value using this x2 RGB and by passing in this color, and then I'm just going to add it to this above respective variables. Okay, so okay, yep. So once we have this and average, I'm just going to remove this. average green, and then average blue. So this is going to be now it's going to be just the total R. Okay, so I mean, and this I'll have to move this up, so let me move this to inside this by this colors dot length, and here as well it's going to be now the total G by colors dot length, and here total B. So this is the thing, and else I'm just going to set those values to 0. Okay, so yes, so after this we have here the 5 colors. Okay, and I'm just going to change this to minimum contrast ratio to 7, and then we are just going to get those. I mean, it's going to remain the same. And now the HSL colors, so I will collect first this inside this HSL colors. Okay, and let's get the let's modify the saturation and lightness values of this HSL values. That is, I'm going to collect inside this adjusted colors variable by you passing this to modify colors, the HSL colors, and then this saturation value. So I'm just going to pass some random values. Okay, so then the lightness value, so I'm just going to pass this values. So once we have this adjusted color values, I'm just going to shift the view values of the adjusted HSL colors. That is, let's collect this shifted colors by passing it to shift hue function, and here I'm just going to pass this adjusted colors. So we'll have to write that function shift view. Okay, and then finally I'm just going to return the adjusted colors and also the shifted colors. Okay, so this shift this function, so let's quickly write this here. So this is going to be view function, and this is again going to receive the colors string as the input, and it's going to return the string array as the output. So let's first have this empty shifted colors array, and I'm just going to iterate through this degrees. Okay, so degree of this minus 45 to 45. Okay, and now let's get the each color using this input parameter, which is the colors, and I'm just going to parse the color string to get the hue, saturation and lightness values. So it's going to be color dot match. Okay, so this HSL, and this is going to be replace. Okay, fine. Then the same way the saturation value, and then the lightness value. Okay, so yep, so this is how we get those values. Okay, so let's once I will just collect them into separate variables respectively. Okay, then the saturation, so here it's going to be match to, okay, and then the lightness. So let's typecast this kind of I'm just going to, yep, fine. And now the shifted value, so shifted hue, it's going to be, I'm just going to convert this into int first, that is the view to decimal, and then add this degree, okay, and modulus of the 360. Same way the shifted color, so here in the HSL format, so I'm just going to add this shifted hue, okay, and then the saturation value, lightness, okay. So this is the shifted color, and I'm just going to push to this array, fine. And finally I'm just going to return this shifted colors array from this, okay. So now going back to this editor code thing, so yep, now the issue is also gone, and let's check this. Now there is an issue with the okay, there is an issue with this function we have just written. I'll just have a look. So here we did change the generate colors function to be a list of strings, but we are passing here color 1, color 2. That's the reason we are seeing an issue here. So I'm just going to change in this themes.ts the supported themes to the list of strings, and hopefully we should not see that issue again. So let me change quickly to this array of strings. Array of strings, okay. I'm just going to change this. Okay, and yeah, now the issue is gone. Hopefully let's have a look at the output. So yep, let me refresh this. Yeah, you see now this is the code component. So now editor is fine, so let's go back here, so to our page thing. So here, so if there is no session, it has to showcase this editor, fine. So let's go to this now the dashboard. So basically there we will we will create here a new folder here. I'm just going to name this as a dashboard, and here let's create page.tsx file, and I'm just going to create here the function page function for this, so and make this as asynchronous, and this is going to be simple straightforward page. So same first let's check for the session using the get session helper auth function. If there is no session, we're just going to redirect to our home page, okay, fine. If not, first let me get the snippets here. So I'm just going to create one function here, and I'm just going to make this as asynchronous, which let's name this as get snippets, and this is going to receive the user ID as input param, and here let's call this prisma. I'm just going to import this prisma, so let me import this prisma from library slash prisma. Okay, so now here I'm just going to call this prisma.snippet dot find a many and pass in this user id to where condition. So user id, and I wanted to include this views too. Okay, so this is going to give us the snippets. Okay, and here I'm just going to use that function. So here get snippets by passing in session dot user dot id. Okay, so once I have this snippets, I'm going to showcase this in our dashboard page. So here inside this div and styling for this, I'm going to make this as a flex and a width, let's say some 576 pixel. Okay, and the direction column and the rounded, I'm just wanted to have extra large and padding fine all direction. Okay, fine, and have this border and border color, I'm just going to have this set to white. Okay, and background, let me set this to black. Shadow, I'm just going to have extra large, and shadow color, let's say some blank, and yeah, fine. Now so inside this div we will have the div with the title saying snippets and the button which is going to have the snippet count, which is the length of the snippet count, and along with the snippets component which we have created. Okay, so here let's make this as a flex and width full. Okay, and items, I'm just going to center them and justify between. Okay, fine, and header, let's make this as text to be extra large and font to be extra bold. Okay, so here it's going to be snippets, and I'm just going to have this button from our dashboard. Okay, so here let's just pass in the snippet count. Here it's going to be snippets dot length. Then after this div, I'll just have this snippets component, and we'll have to pass the snippets, and let's serialize them. So I'm just going to use from our helper, so serialize from library. Okay, I don't have serialize. Okay, let me create that to just to serialize things, the snippet. So here I'm going to create here the new file called serialize. Okay, so first I'm going to define the type for serialized value. So let's make this as a generalized type. Okay, so I'm going to name this as serialized value of type T, and this is going to have two objects, so which can be having the type property with the value date, and value property which is going to be of type string. Okay, so same way the other thing, now this can be a function. Okay, and the value which is the string, or it can be of type T. So this is the type, and let's have the function which is going to customize thing based upon the type. Okay, so here function serialize custom, so this is going to receive two parameters, which is the string and the value, which is going to be of type t, and this is going to return a type of serialized value of type t. Okay, so first we will check if the value is instance of date. Okay, so if it is, I'm just going to return here the type as date, and the value I'm going to convert this to JSON. So here value as date to JSON. Okay, fine. And now if a value is if the type, okay, so let's have this, if type of value is equals to a function, so I'm going to return with the type set to function. Okay, and the value I'm just going to convert this to a string. Fine, and then finally I'm just going to return value. So this is the function which is going to check the type, and based on that it's going to return the value. Okay, and let's have the function to check whether date is serialized or function is serialized. Okay, so here I'm just going to name this as serialized date, and this would have the value which for now let's make it as type as any as an input. Okay, and it's going to return the value, and this is going to be type it's going to be date, and value it's going to be string, and I'm just going to return the value. Okay, and if the value type it's equals to date, so basically it is just going to confirm whether the date is serialized or not. Okay, so same way I'll have the function to know whether the function is serialized or not. So is serialized function, same way, so it's going to have value as input, and it's going to return the value, and here it's the type it's going to be function along with the value string. Okay, so here I'm just going to check value and its type. So if value dot type is function. Okay, so this is the function to serialize function. So finally I'm just going to have the function which is, we are going to name this as serialize. So export function serialize, and here input we will receive of type t, and first thing, and also I'm just going to the return type would be of type t. So first thing, let's get the serialized object and stringify this by passing in this input as well as the serialize custom function, and then let's return the json.parse by passing in the serialized object, and then the function which is going to return value that we want for the passing. So I'm just going to return write this one function here. Let's name this as a reviver. Okay, so it's going to be the same like we did for the custom. Okay, so here value it's going to be of type serialized value of type t, and here if is serialized date of the value, then I'm just going to return this new date object. Okay, with the value dot value as unknown, okay, as t. Okay, fine, and same now check for the function is serialized function by passing in this value. Okay, if it is so, I'm just going to return this new function with the I'm just going to return here the value dot value, okay, as unknown as t. Okay, and finally if neither of them, I'm just going to return the value as t. And let's now use this here. Okay, so this is the serialize function that we want. So let's go back to this dashboard page. Okay, so here I'm just going to import this now, serialize okay, and pass in the snippets for this. Okay, so here I'm just going to, yep, okay, so and I'm just going to close this. So this is the dashboard page. Okay, fine, and same way I'm just going to have this error page and other things in this. So in case if we are navigating to this dashboard page, but it was we did face some issue, so we have to showcase some page. So for that I'm just going to have this error page. Okay, and here I'm just going to mention this as use client, and let's have simply the function which is going to just say the message that error has occurred. Okay, so here let's name this as error, and error, it's going to receive error of type error as an input parameter. So and I'm just going to return the div. Okay, so here, so I'm just going to import the cn. Okay, so let me import this. So I'm just going to import this from, okay, and here I'm just going to use that cn and wrap the stylings inside that. So first let's make this as a flex, and items I'm just going to center them, and justify, let's center them and have this gap of 2, and the padding y direction I'm just going to set it to 4. Okay, and obviously text color I'm just going to have medium red color. Okay, and fine, so inside this div I'm just going to have this error icon. So from the lucid react. Okay, so I'm just going to let me here lucid react, and here I'm just going to have this and size the same standard 16, and area hidden I'm just going to set it to true. Okay, fine, and then the in this side this span, and if there is message I'm just going to showcase this. If not, I'm just going to have this message showcase, which is the an error as occurred. Okay, so fine, and I'm just going to close this. So this is the what is the issue? mm, okay, okay, fine, so this is the of component for showcasing the error message. Okay, same way we'll have for loading as well. So I'm just going to have this loading.tsx. Whenever we are navigating this page, I just wanted to showcase if it's taking time to load, this component will be showcased. So here I'm just going to name this as loading, and I'm just going to return inside this div. Okay, so let's make this display as a flex, and the width I'm just going to set it to something like 576 pixel, and the direction, let's make this as a column and have the surrounded corners. So okay, and padding fine all directions, and have this border, and also border color I'm just going to set it to white, and the background I want it to be black, and let's have this shadow effect, so extra large, and the color of that, let's make this as a black. Okay, so yep, and fine, and inside this div I'm just going to showcase the header, the snippets, and below the those components I'm just going to have this skeleton component. Okay, so that is, let's make this as a flex, and width full, and items center, and justify I'm just going to mention the between. Okay, first is the header. Okay, so let's make this text to be extra large, and also a font type I'm just going to have it as an extra bold, and here the header it's going to be snippets. And now I want the skeleton component, so since I want to use this in the multiple places, it's better if I write one simple skeleton component inside this UI folder. So I mean here, so I'm just going to create that a new file. Let's name this as skeleton component. So skeleton, so it's going to be simple thing, so I'm just going to name this as uh, skeleton. Okay, and the stylings in case needed for this component, so dynamically we will pass this as a input param for this component. Okay, and this is going to be a simple div. Okay, so here I'm just going to make this as a rounded medium. Okay, and the background I want to be almost white. Okay, so yep, and then I'm just going to apply this animate pulse. Okay, and then the class name that we are receiving as a parameter for this component. Okay, and then I'm going to close this. So this is a simple skeleton component, so we'll make use of that here inside this loading component. Okay, so here I'm just going to import that. So here I'm just going to have this skeleton. Okay, and the class name, let's make this height to be something like 34 pixel, and width to be 1/5. Okay, fine, yeah, and I'm just going to close this. So same way we'll have multiple skeletons down here inside this div. So I'm just going to apply margin bottom for this, and also margin top for this. Okay, and inside this I'll just have this skeleton component. Okay, fine, and let's have this height to be 4, and a width something like 1/6. Okay, and in the grid to showcase the list of the snippets if there are no, so this skeletons will be showcased. Okay, so here this display would be grid, and it will have the 2 columns. Okay, and gap of 3. Okay, fine, and here I'm just going to have the skeleton, and styling for this, let's have this height to be something like 74 pixel, and width I just want it to be auto. Okay, fine, and same I'm just going to have the same one more component. Okay, so this is the loading page in case it's taking time to load the actual page. Okay, fine, and now let's focus on the dynamic page, basically the individual snippet page that we will have to showcase if the user is trying to navigate to particular id page. Okay, for that I'm just going to have here the new folder, so with the id value, and first thing, so let me create here the page dot tsx. Okay, so here let me define this page, so which is export default, and make this as asynchronous. Okay, and function page. Okay, so this is going to have the params, so this going to be of type id object. Okay, and first thing, let's get the session. So using our get session library helper function, and I'm just going to get the snippet details by passing in this id. So for that, let's have the function. Okay, so I'm just going to write above here, make this as asynchronous, and let's this is going to be get snippet. Okay, this id string. Okay, and I'm just going to return this so let me import this prisma, import prisma from library prisma. Okay, so and I'm just going to call this snippet dot find unique by passing in this id. Okay, so and also I need the views also, so I'm just going to include those views. So views, I'm just going to set it to true. So this is going to give us the details of particular snippet. Okay, and so here I'm just going to get that snippet into some variable. So let's name this as snippet. So here get snippet and pass in this params dot id. Okay, and here I'm just going to have this variable to keep the views count. Okay, so this one so here if snippet is found. Okay, and here views, it's going to be if session dot user dot id is not equals to snippet dot user id, then that means I'll have to increment the views. So for that also we'll need one function. So I'm just going to create here straight away the function to increment the view count. So I'm just going to name this as increase view count. Okay, so here view count, and this is going to receive the id as the input param, and I'm just going to here update the view table. So view dot update for this snippet id. So here snippet id by passing in this id, and the data, it's going to be just the account. I'm just going to increment by 1. Okay, so this is the function which is going to help us increment the view count. If the person viewing is having different id than the person who has created this snippet. Okay, so here I'm just going to call this increase view count and pass in this id. Okay, if not, I'm just going to showcase this snippet dot views value. Okay, so that is what will be stored in this views variable. Okay, and let's get the whether it's editable or not. So this is again going to depend upon if the user id is matching to the snippet user id. So if the same user is viewing, so then it's editable, and also to know if it is authenticated or not, so it is going to depend upon the session value. Okay, if no session is found, I'm just going to call this not found function. Okay, fine. And finally the ui part, it's going to be I'm just going to wrap inside this fragment. So it's nothing, so I'm just going to call this setup store we have here already, and we'll just have to pass this snippet for this, and then the editor. So editor component, the views, it's going to be the views dot count. Okay, and editable, I'm just going to pass this editable, and is authenticated, I'm just going to pass is authenticated. Okay, so this is the individual id page. Okay, so what is the issue here? Okay, the issue is with respect to type. I'll come back to this, and same here as well. We'll have this loading page. So this, I'm just going to use the loader component we have. So let me define this loading.tsx. Okay, so here it's going to be a simple function which is loading. Okay, and I'm just going to return the loader. Okay, so this is the loading page. Okay, so now almost whatever is needed is almost done. Okay, and also here in the main sections. Okay, so if there is not found, even we can customize that. So I'm just going to create here the new file, so which is not found .tsx. Okay, so here again it's going to be a simple just to customize the things you wanted to showcase for the not found pages. We can just create in this way. So I'm just going to have this div for that. Okay, so let me make this as a flex. Okay, and items, I'm just going to center them and justify, let's center. Okay, and here let's header, so which I'm going to make this as a 4 times XL, and font type to be extra bold, and the text I'm just going to showcase here it as 404. Okay, so that is the thing. And yeah, and now we should be good to have a look at the output. So, and also you have to add the GitHub client ID and client secret. So how we are going to get is simple. Go to your settings of your GitHub profile and look for the developer settings option. Once you go into that, you just have to create a new GitHub application. So, and there will be simple details you'll have to fill in. So the main details here I wanted to stress upon is the origin URL. It's going to be, in our case it's going to be http localhost 3000 is the URL. Okay, if you deployed somewhere, then the URL there should be that deployed URL, and the callback URL, it's going to be http localhost 3000 slash API slash auth slash callback slash github. Okay, so this is very important, so make sure you don't miss this. So these are the two details. So once you create this, you will get the automatically the client ID and client secret, and use this inside your environment variables. So that is going to help us use the GitHub provider to log in into our application. Fine, so I'm just going to move to the output. Okay, let's have a look at our output. So you see now this is the output we have as of now. So if I just try to go to this dashboard, there is some issue with respect to use client, so I will just change this. Okay, dashboard button. Okay, so here I'm just going to mention this as use client. Okay, let me refresh this. Okay, even in the snippets here as well, I'm just going to even in setup store. So it's just the use client, it's not a big deal. So I'm just going to mention those. Yep, so you saw there was the skeleton loaded. Okay, so if I just go here, since we are not authenticated, so it's going to redirect to our home page. Okay, so fine. And so here, and also I'll have to showcase this settings, right? So to our home page, going here, the editor component. Okay, fine. So it's not yeah, here I'll have to showcase this. If it's editable, I just have to showcase this the settings component we did create. So for that, I'm just going to import this the settings. Okay, I'm just going to import these settings. Okay, let me import here. from components / settings. Okay, and I'm just going to use this here. Okay, so that's the fine. So this is the settings component rendering. So let's go to output. Okay, there is an issue with respect to label properties, so let's have a look at it. So it's just the wrong import. So we are importing the settings file, but we have to import this. So I'm just going to mention here the exact file. So now let's go and have a look at it. Okay, so yep, now you see there is the settings section where we can select the language that we want, and the actions, and also the theme. Okay, so if I just let me here. Okay, I think I'll have to check this. I'll have to give the mode z index for that. Okay, and also here I'm not seeing any. Okay, at least the whatever we have, I think there is some issue with this z index for that. I'll have a look at that. And also here, okay, fine, but settings is good. Okay, now the thing is, let's say, like, I wanted to sign in with GitHub. So as soon as I sign in, I should be able to go back to the dashboard page and create this snippet. Okay, let's try to sign in first. Okay, so I have clicked on this. I'm just going to there is some issue. Let me have a look at this while I'm trying to sign in with GitHub. Okay, so looking at the issue, we see that this refresh token underscore expires and isn't present in this account schema. So let's go to the schema, and here I'm just going to add this thing. So that is refresh token expires in, and I'm just going to make this int type and optional. Okay, so first thing, I'm just going to migrate this. So added refresh token, something, the name. Okay, and now it's in sync. Okay, and yeah, hopefully that should fix the issue. And let's try now. Okay, I'm just refreshing it. Okay, and let's try to sign in. Okay, again the issue. Okay, the issue is same. Maybe let's do one thing. I'm just going to remove this all data. Maybe okay, let me have a check at this. I just restarted the application. Okay, and now let's have a look. Hopefully it should work. Okay, so here I am. Let's now trying to log in with the GitHub. So here I'm just going to log into the GitHub. Okay, yep, you see now immediately I am logged in, and there is no snippets for me, and it took us to the dashboard page. Hopefully if you're doing it for the first time, it will just ask you the permission to authorize the GitHub app to authenticate this. So once you give that, you will automatically logged in. So let's have a look at our DB. So here now you see here, so there is the one record in this session accounts table. Okay, so this is how we are authenticating the user. And now if I just create this new okay, there is an issue with respect to this call, so let's have a look. While I'm trying to create a new one, there is an issue. Okay, I'll have a look. Okay, fine. And let's go to this. Okay, there are few issues. So first let me do one thing. I'm just going to log out. Okay, so first thing here, let's have a look at this font size padding things. Okay, so going here to this settings. So I'm just going to, I'll come back to that creation of snippet. There is some issue. Okay, to the settings section. So here there is an issue with the choices type. So if I see here, there is a wrong import. So just let changing back to the right choices. Hopefully we should see the choices here. Yeah, so the choices we're able to see. And also here you see for the select thing, we are seeing the options behind this settings thing. I think there is some thing mistake we did in the Z index. So if you see here for the options, there is, we did misspell, so it has to be Z iPhone 50. It was to iPhone 50. So now let's have a look. And here, yep, now it's cool. Okay, and also this, yep, this thing is fine. So let's have a look at the creating the snippets. There is some issue. I'll just have a look at that. So first thing, while we are creating the snippet, we were seeing an error. So for that it was creating but we were not able to showcase in the UI, but backend it was creating in the DB. And also we were not able to see the snippets list once it was created. We were seeing the issue of only one child can be rendered. That's because you see here in the context trigger, it was not properly closed here, it was closed at the end. Okay, so that's it was closed here, the trigger. That's the reason it was not properly rendering. And now seeing the error message on clicking the new button, though it is created in the DB, was because we not completed the fetcher utility. So here after this I'll have to get this update function from the use store. So I will get this from use store. Okay, and here get the state, get state, and get the update function. And here first thing, if the result is not okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to get the code from the body. And if there is no code, I'm going to update the message saying that unknown error. Okay, so here unknown error, and then I'm just going to throw this new error with the message of the same unknown error. Okay, and here if there is a code, so I'm just going to update the message with that code. Okay, so here fine, and then I'm just going to throw the error by passing in this thing. Okay, if everything was good, so I'm just going to return the body. So this is the complete fetcher function. So now hopefully while we create, we should be able to see the creation. And also here I did make some changes, here I was in this. Okay, I was referring here to the session. Okay, so if but we should check for the snippet. So I changed from session to snippet, and here the not found. So that's the change. Okay, So now hopefully we should be able to see this. So let's go to the output. Okay, so here I'm just going to sign in. So as soon as sign in, it's going to take us to the dashboard. So now we don't have any snippet. Okay, so let's try to create this. Yeah, so it was success, and then we are redirected to the that respective snippet page. Okay, so and here I'm just going to update this title. So let's say snippet 1, and hopefully this should yeah, the changes are successfully saved. And if I just go to our db, okay, let me go to the db, and I'm just querying here. So you see the title snippet 1 is successfully saved, and then let's see the code part. So function test 1, I'm just going to have here something like this. Okay, so now hopefully let's see this, and it should be saved. Okay, so it is successfully saved, and let's go to the db and check the code part. Yes, you see this is successfully saved. So this is how we are going to create a snippet and save it to our the db. And I can just copy this link. Okay, so link is successfully copied. So if I just see this is okay, so it's working. And also I can copy this image and also download this image, and everything is going to work fine as it is. And if I just change this, automatically it's going to update these preferences of mine for this snippet into db. Same way, even this, you see here this would automatically save. We have this listener, and here I just have to add here the custom snippet, so which I will add this. And here we can just change this to whatever the language we want, and I'm changing it. So now if I go back here, see, and also here there is some issue with the showcasing of the color. I will look into this, and here we have this count. So everything, and here there are shortcuts. Okay, so if I just here on over, if I just press r, you see directly it's taking us to the snippet. So these are how the shortcuts are working. So now automatically whatever we have in db, it's populating here. So almost it's ready, everything. We are able to create the snippet, delete the snippet, rename the snippet, automatically update the contents of the code into db, and dynamically change the options that we want. Okay, and also perform actions, copying link, copying image, downloading as png, and also automatically sign out with the shortcuts. Okay, and here this is going to showcase the list of the shortcuts. Okay, and going back to the dashboard, everything is cool, and automatically change the title of the snippet. Almost everything is cool except this theme. I'll have a look at this. So overall, this is the application that I want to talk about, and hope so you guys will like this. And if you like it, please share and subscribe. And I think it was worth listening to this application. And now let's focus on the theme part. So once I just complete this, so this would be end of the output of our application. So, and this is our dashboard page. Okay, and yeah, let's go back to the code and see the issue related to this theme. I'm just going to add your custom. So if I click on this custom, it's going to open the additional things for us, which is going to help us set the grain and select the color, and also the change the angle. Okay, so let's go back. So here I'm just going to add the custom to the list of the themes thing. Okay, so here in the values, okay, we had this. So let me just search supported themes. Okay, so we have here in the themes. Okay, so I'm just going to get that. Okay, yeah, here I'm just going to add here one more option. So with the id, this is going to be custom. Okay, and the label, so let's mention this some the custom. Okay, and generated colors, I'm just going to so here I'm just going to mention this chroma dot random.x color. Okay, same for the okay, so okay, the class I'm just going to fine, and this is the custom. So hopefully let's have a look at it now. Okay, so going here, and I'm just going to refresh this. Okay, let's see if I select this. Yep. Okay, there is some issue, but hopefully this is how what I wanted to see. If I just select this, and yeah, I'm able to. Okay, there is some issue with the custom colors, and if I change this gradient angle, okay, this is at least working good, the angle that we wanted to change, and here the green I'm able to toggle it, and color mode and the colors, there is some UI issue. I'm just going to have a look at this. Okay, and if I just select this, uh, okay, it's working fine, but I'll just have a look at this UI issue. But now you see this is how we are going to. Now if I just change it, it's going to close back, and if I just change to smoke, yeah, this is how the color it's going to change. And if I just click on this thing, it's going to give us, okay, there is some issue, but I'll have a look at that. So if I just select here in the wrapper, there is an issue. I'll just have a look. But apart from that, that's what I wanted to showcase was this. If you just change it to custom, you'll be seeing, and also here the theme value, it's not reflecting. So this, there is some issue with this. We'll have a look at this. Let's go back. First I'm just going to add some custom styling for the stripes and picker in the picker component for custom theme controls. Okay, and then have a look at that. So first thing, for the picker, okay, and which is the react colorful saturation, I'm just going to add the border radius. Okay, so yep, a border radius I'm just going to add 5 pixel, and yep, and also for view as well. So here react colorful, okay, view, I'm just going to add this border radius. Okay, yep, and finally the stripes. Okay, so here for stripes I'm just going to have the background image, so which is going to be the linear gradient. Okay, so I'm just going to pass this 45 degree and RGBA color, so completely 255, 255, and alpha I'm just going to pass in this 0.02. okay, and have this 25%. Then transparent, let's make 25%, then the 50%. Okay, and then the same 255 again 0.2. I'm just going to 50%. Okay, then the same thing, just I'm just going to apply 75% of it. Okay, so here, and then the transparent 75%. Okay, and I'm just going to, yeah, and then background size, so I'm just going to set it to something like 2.3 rems and 2.3 rems. Okay, fine. So this is just the custom styling to improve the border radius and background image. So that's all. And also I did comment this, so we no longer need, because we have mentioned in our the layout thing. So I'm just going to remove this. Okay, Now let's have a look at the output. So just going here. Yep, I'm just going to refresh this. So now you see it's looking good for the custom thing, and we are able to change the color and also the mode and the gradient angle. So if I just you see the angle is changing, okay, and the green is also fine. So now only thing is here there is no color showcasing based on whatever you have selected here. So for that I'm thinking to change the custom themes list, okay. So going here to themes.ts, so here I just wanted to change completely this to I mean we do have this. So I'm just going to remove a lot of changes here, so I'm just going to remove this. So if I just go to theme definition, and I'm just going to remove this completely class, and also this I'm just going to rename this to base color. So let's rename this to just make better sense, and going to the themes now. So here first thing I'm just going to change this to, so here wherever we have this generated, I'm going to change this to base, okay. And the class value I'm just going to, and also this generated colors I'm going to remove this. Okay, so here I'm just going to remove this, and even this thing, and also class also we are going to remove. And with this we'll have to make some changes in the place where we were using it, but it's going to be quick. I'm just going to remove this class from every color. So quickly let me remove this class, okay. So now these are the themes value. So now the places wherever we are referring, so it's going to be so now I'm just going to have this base colors, okay. So we just have to change in the places where we were referring to generated colors, okay. So this is going to be now base colors, okay. So going down here I'm just going to remove this completely, okay. And here as well, okay. And same way we'll make changes uh, in the place wherever we were referring to generated colors, okay. So quickly here this is done, and now here in the help component, so this is not, and here wrapper, so this is going to be now base colors. And here as well I'm just going to change this to, yep. So that's the change here. And in this code section also it's going to be base colors. I'm just quickly changing back to base colors, okay. And there is some, yeah, here as well. Let me change this to base colors. Now in the snippets part here in this it's going to be the base colors, okay. So that's the change. And yeah, hopefully let's have a look at the output, okay. So I'm just going to refresh this. Still I see no value here. Let me have a look at this. Well, the issue was for the theme we just I was passing here, I'm passing here the as a value, it's going to be option. And also here in the theme bubble component, okay, we did miss this, it has to be covered the angle then the colors. Okay, so this is the mess, and now hopefully we should see the changes we made. Yeah, you see now the color that is associated with each of them is being applied. And if I just select the custom, okay, so this is what I wanted to talk about, and whatever I showcased in the initial part we have accomplished at the end, and this is the end application with all the shortcuts and handling dynamic updates to the DB, and dashboard and everything, and okay, and draggable settings handle. Okay, so everything, this is what I wanted to showcase. Hope you guys will like it, and if you guys liked it, somehow helped you in your development phase, please like, share and subscribe. Thank you so much.